Hi, Becky. Good
Hey,
morning, or
good
just about
morning.
afternoon.
It is. Guess we'll wait just a few minutes and then we can get started.
hmm Okay, for then those of you who are listening in, please feel free to post any questions in the chat and we will respond. This webinar is also being recorded and will be made available to you upon further review. Welcome. This is a webinar for XenTegra's ServiceNow practice and the HRSD product within ServiceNow. We hold these webinars not that infrequently, so please be on the lookout for additional webinar invites and be welcome to talk about HRSD today. Um, our agenda today is going to be, meet your panelists. Becky and myself talk a little bit about our ServiceNow practice, a little bit about XenTegra, the larger company, and then we'll have the meat of the presentation about HRSD, followed by any questions. My name is Mike Sabia. I am a ServiceNow Certified Master Architect. I was lucky enough to get into that program in 2023. I've been on the ServiceNow platform since, I think, Calgary for about 13 years, and Becky's been on the platform even longer. Becky, happy to have you here today. Becky is our resident HRSD expert. The platform is rather large. It's hard to be an expert in every area, so we do have people like Becky who do have specialties in certain areas.
Thank you, Mike. Glad to be here with you.
Want to introduce yourself a little bit more, Becky?
Sure. So I am Becky White, and I am a senior solutions architect. I work with Mike Sabia on the XenTegra team. And as Mike mentioned, I have been working with ServiceNow prior to the releases that started with the names. So prior to Aspen, so it's been quite a long time. So around 2011, 2012 is when I got started with ServiceNow. So
Fantastic.
I'm glad that you're here with us.
So XenTegra takes a slightly different look in regards to our approach with ServiceNow. We, as many partners do, have it's a consultative approach. We have a strong relationship with ServiceNow as a partner. We're client focused. We are a global leader in the digital workspace and managed services to our customers. But what makes us a little different is that we're not as large as some of the really big ones, and some of those really big partners tell a really good story, but then they bring people who are out of college, still capable, but not that experienced with ServiceNow onto the platform to do those implementations. What XenTegra is a little different on is that all of our solution architects have 10, 11, 12, 13 years of experience. So we have that experience with the whole platform, can give you the guidance on what is best accomplished, and then bring in those particular people like Becky in terms of HRSD for the expertise in that area. Larger partners don't always have that same type of intimacy that we are able to provide. We were a partner of the year for 2024, and we are represented in our relatively comfort-sized partner relationship at having a certified master architect and a certified technical architect. And we have ServiceNow certifications across over 80% of the platform. And in addition to our many years of architecture experience, we also bring in, very seasoned developers and admins to do our work, rather than having to redo the work and have that type of flux in your expectation and implementation. XenTegra, the larger company, has 5 businesses, as you see here. We have near and offshore staffing for all of our MSP business, managed service provider business, where our customers come to us to help support the products that they use. And over the years, Andy Whiteside, who's the CEO of XenTegra, has heard from customers say, hey, we love XenTegra, but do you also support ServiceNow? And that's where the ServiceNow practice started a little over 2 years ago. So we have a nearshore practice in Canada. We have offshore resources in India specifically. We do focus on some SLED areas with our government practice, SMB with one, and then the MSP business around services. The ServiceNow business unit is most closely tied to the MSP business. So when I came into XenTegra, one of the questions I had was, what's our line of business? What's our means to get more customers? And these businesses are the ones that allow us to feed upon and grow those relationships. Now we have relationships we've had with previous partners and bring them in. We do reach out through the knowledge conferences to meet new customers, but the foundational business that we have is through these customers who then need ServiceNow business. If you have questions about the larger XenTegra practice, please reach out to us. About XenTegra a little bit here, we are a value-added reseller. We sell various components and software, and then we're able to service it. We provide those consulting services, those consulting practices. For example, I have a meeting later today with Aaron Banner, who was in the Army as a colonel, and he's our security expert. And if a customer had specific questions about security, we would bring him in. We do have the ability to manage those services to support your digital workspace environment, troubleshooting, best practices, utilization. And in the 4th bullet here, we offer complimentary assessments. Often prior to bringing in a new partner, you want to get a sense of what the health of your system would be. And we provide these complimentary assessments to have discussions with you to understand your pain points, understand what your vision is, do some assessment of your ServiceNow practice and other practices outside of ServiceNow, and then from there can build upon and discuss what the next steps can be, whether those be services or an even further deep dive into particular areas of your platform. Becky, you want to add anything here?
No, I think you're summing it up very well for different things that we do. We're a little bit different because we are a little bit smaller, but we bring across great resources. And in doing so, XenTegra, in my opinion, does things a little bit different by, really trying to listen to what the customer needs and helping to drive them to where they need to go. And also by, a lot of times we're coming in after they've already implemented certain things, and maybe certain things didn't go right the first time. There's some things that could be adjusted and so forth, or maybe they tried to do certain things on themselves and need a little bit more help into those areas. We're glad to do some of those assessments. Maybe the assessment, everything worked perfectly and is great, and that's fine. The assessment might be, where do you go from here? What is that roadmap? What does it look like? What are you trying to accomplish? And so we do try to help in those particular
right
areas.
And the assessment's it's not all about, hey, what's wrong with your system? You maybe have been on ServiceNow for 5 years, and of course, the one powerful aspect of ServiceNow is the ability to customize it to your needs. But some of those needs that you customize are now part of the product. And if you did it yourself, then you have that technical debt. You have to maintain it. You have to deal with it during upgrades. And it might be a discussion of when would it be appropriate to reuse the new capabilities rather than your custom code and custom configuration that you yourself have to manage.
Couldn't agree with you more. Great.
Andy, as I mentioned, is our CEO. He also often calls himself the Chief Enthusiasm Officer. He, with those 5 XenTegra companies, each of them are fairly independent or acting. He gives them a lot of ability to grow themselves and provide recommendations to customer on what is best. Being a privately owned company means that we're not beholden to our shareholders to sell things right away or maybe sooner than you might expect it. We're happy to develop that relationship with you and provide you the services when you need them. The XenTegra as a partner was born out of that need of having to have a VAR 2.0, a customer enablement and true partnership, not just selling services. Again, some of the value add capabilities are some of those complimentary assessments, educational webinars like this one today. We do hold hands-on workshops. We do podcasts. Andy is a great proponent of podcasts. We have podcasts every 2 weeks on a number of areas that we work within ServiceNow. I'm not on across the digital workplace, including ServiceNow, security, and many other areas. And specifically to ServiceNow, we do provide heavily discounted conference passes to the knowledge seminars that occur every May of every year. If you would be interested in those discounted passes, please reach out to your existing XenTegra sales rep or reach out to us per contact information on our website. Any questions at this point? I do not see any in the chat yet. So Becky?
All right.
This is on to our HRSD demo and discussion.
Yes, perfect. I have one more slide we're going to switch over to, and we're going to be a little interactive here. I'm going to talk through a slideshow. I'll try not to bore you. And then I am going to do a little demonstration, go into an instance and show a couple of things. And then from there, we're going to look at today, HRSD, some of the features of it, talk about it, and then a little bit on Employee Center. So I'll go ahead and get started. So human resources, today, this is really what we're going to look at. So in the human resources service delivery area, you can really do a lot of different areas. So from pre-hiring someone, onboarding them throughout their life cycle as they are an employee or a contractor, through their employment with you, different things that might happen in their life or different things that might need to occur. They need to upgrade a laptop. Maybe they get a promotion. Maybe they switch from full-time to contract work. Maybe they're relocating. They need leave of absence, different times off, and so forth. All of that can be tracked. There's lots of different catalog items that are available to us throughout HRSD. And so by activating some of those and adding the workflows behind it, you can really handle the majority of your human resources areas that your employees or contractors might need. This particular slide talks a little bit more about how it's easy for an employee to get to HR services. So you're going to see in the demonstration and also some other slides that were put together for you for this webinar today is we're really trying to link things through the Employee Center, and you can have IT items and HR items, maybe legal items, but really driving that employee to one particular area. They can search, they can look to see if it is that they need a new laptop. Maybe they need to to move, or they're getting a promotion, or they're going up for a promotion. There's lots of different things that are available to them. So one thing that we want to do is to help drive them to that particular area. How we're going to do that is usually through the employee center, as well as just having the availability of the HR services. So a lot of times when people think about HR, they're just thinking onboarding and offboarding, but HR can actually do a lot more than just onboarding and offboarding.
Well,
If
and
you
disciplinary issues, but
Yes,
yes.
yes, disciplinary issues, exactly. But you could also utilize Workday or different areas as well, and the systems can talk to one another. Maybe someone wants to know how many days off that they have upcoming. It can it can go out, talk to Workday, pull that information back, but yet give that employee that one pane to be able to know exactly where to go and what to do. That is one of the largest things as an architect that we hear a lot about is we're so confused. Do we go into Salesforce for this, or ServiceNow for this, or Workday for this? The nice thing that it can bring to that employee is one place, do your search, find your uh, area that you need to go to, and be able to do it all there.
Right. So it
So
could be like your tickets for your IT issues in ServiceNow, your HR issues in ServiceNow, um, days off in ServiceNow, your ability to reach out to legal or ask a laptop. ServiceNow is that single pane of glass platform.
exactly. Um, Organizing the employees' interaction. So this is really in HRSD, we have the Center of Excellence. And underneath there, they're basically, I would call them more categories. So where are we going to put different catalog items underneath? Where do they really belong? And so it's broken out usually by the different functional disciplines. It's really nice in this particular manner because you could have HR is built with a lot of security into there. So you could have, if you, the larger that you are, you might have a benefits analyst, and you might have a payroll analyst, and you might have someone that uh, deals with the disciplinary issues and so forth. So you could break those out by those different disciplines, and you could also have it to where only certain groups can see those particular tickets as well. If it's something that you might not want everyone in HR to be able to see one of those specific cases, it's very easily identified by those different disciplines and those groups, and you can set it to where only those users are seeing those tickets and actually working those tickets. So it is very nice to be able to break it out that particular way. It also helps by whenever you're on the portal to be able to know exactly where you're going to find what you're looking for. But of course, you can do an overall search and get there as well. Using HR service delivery, you can build this out and deliver great experiences. So as we mentioned, not only using HR service delivery, but using HR service delivery with Employee Center, you've got that pane of glass that you're looking at. So as Mike was mentioning earlier, so as the employee, they would not know if you have 3 or 4 different systems. The nice thing about ServiceNow is you can go in, log in as that employee, you hit the portal, and then all of your services that you would need could be there, whether it's opening up an IT ticket, maybe a facilities, maybe somebody spilt something in their area, they need to open up a ticket around that, or a legal question, or it could be HR.
Right. Now, Becky, this talks more about the services available to the employee once they are an employee. Are you going to be speaking a little bit about the onboarding and offboarding as well?
I am. I'm going to do a quick demonstration in my demo instance of just onboarding a user quickly.
Thank you.
Out of the box, I just kind of wanted to talk about the HR services as well. So out of the box, ServiceNow gives us 54. That's quite a bit of HR services. The thing about those services is that they're kind of like templates. They give us some good ideas of what to do, but not necessarily all the workflow behind each one of those. Where do those tasks need to go? Who do they need to get assigned to? Are there additional tasks that need to occur when that happens? But the nice thing is that they do provide us with those, which kind of starts getting the bells and whistles for HR onto what your services might provide. You can definitely deactivate a lot of those services. Maybe there are things that you don't want to start off with. I would say you would want to start off with just a couple of those, maybe have a general case, maybe do your onboarding and offboarding as a start, and then you could start bringing on more and more of those services as you get those built out. But I did want to mention that it does kind of give you that starter package for you onto some of those. The HR agent workspace. So this is a nice view of as an agent where you can come in, you can see any of your cases that you might have assigned to you, what your overall workload is. You could get different reports and so forth. You could search for different tickets as well and be able to see how well you're doing.
For those who've been on the ServiceNow platform for many years, you have the classic interface that we all are familiar with. ServiceNow in the last couple of years has had these workspaces where different people can do everything within one browser tab. There's the IT operations workspace for people doing ITSM, for people doing customer service management. There's the CSM, FSM configurable workspace. The HR agent workspace is one specifically tailored for HR agents.
I added an extra slide here just to talk about some of the supporting applications. Next, I'm going to do just a quick demonstration of HR, showing one of the catalog items. And I just wanted to talk a little bit. ServiceNow does what we call document templates. And these are just some supporting, this list are some supporting applications that can work with HR. So document templates might be if you're especially utilized in onboarding. Maybe you have an I-9 form or different forms if you're bringing a new employee on and you want them to be able to sign it. So document templates, you can load in either HTML or PDF files. It gives us the ability to be able to select different fields to be able to populate those documents, and then also a signature. We can assign, this is a really neat feature that they did in HR to where you can have an HR task as a signature as well. So you can make it being a signing task. And by doing a signing task, you can assign it to the employee. So the employee, even if they have not been all the way onboarded yet, maybe it's some pre-hire things that you need done prior to their day one of start, you can assign those to that employee. They can log into the portal and they can sign their documents or upload documents. They can do different things. So tasks can be assigned to them. So one of those ways is through the document templates. Employee document management is really where a lot of that, whenever they get signed, it can pull that data and that record or that PDF and link it to that task and then store that information. There may only be certain people that can actually click onto or download that document to be able to get back to it. The employee service experience pack are basically some HR processes that it gives you kind of that bundle to be able to start. There's enterprise service management integration. So again, we can talk to different third-party applications. Workday is one of those. There's several more. HR Predictive Intelligence Workbench. So this is really just a workbench that gives us some different reporting to be able to look at. And we kind of looked a little bit at the agent workspace. That's just that interaction there between the HR agent. HR Success Dashboard, that really gives us some KPIs to see how well we're doing. Listening Post and Learning Core, as well as the Manager Hubs, are some new features that are out there. So Listening Post, that's where we could send out different surveys and get the employees' feedback onto them. And we could send those out at different times. The Learning Core is something where we could link either with Workday or Udemy, different things like that, to be able to pull back some Learning Core. It works really in conjunction with Manager Hub. And what Manager Hub can do is, if you're a manager and maybe you had 5 different people underneath you or 10, you could go out to the portal and you could assign different courses or different trainings to your employees that you have underneath you. And then you can kind of manage that. You can see who's completed it, who's not completed it, and so forth. And again, it can work back with Udemy as well as Workday. There's a couple of other ones as well. So those are some really nice features. And then we have machine learning as well. So where we can do some auto creating of cases, different things like that. Performance analytics, that's where we're going to get additional reporting out of the system. And then, of course, virtual agent is also available for HR service delivery. There's not any questions. I'm going to go ahead and bear with me here. I'm going to hit the escape key and click over to go into my XenTegra demo instance here. Hopefully you're still seeing my screen.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. I am going to go in. I'm going to act as though I'm a manager. And what I want to do
And just let me
is,
take a quick pause, Becky, if you don't mind. I do see we have an additional attendee. So for those who are joining us late, this is being recorded and will be posted. And there will be opportunities for you to post questions later. But for now, if you do have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat directly.
yes, we'll try to answer them either through the chat or through talking. So, and then again, at the end, we'll be very interactive as we need to. So what I did is I logged into an instance. I went to the employee portal. I am going to Employee Center. I do have a couple of slides. We're going to talk a little bit about Employee Center and some of the differences between Employee Center and Employee Center Pro. This particular Employee Center is Employee Center Pro. How I know that is I have these different interactive boxes here, and it shows a couple of additional features, and I'll point those out later in the slides.
And the main way to consider what EC Pro does that EC does not is it provides that personalization to you versus general for everybody. So, hey, what's the weather in your area? What training classes are due to you? Is your PC up for refresh?
Under HR, so you'll see because we've activated HRSD, we do have the HR tab here. We normally have IT as well. This is a demonstration instance, so I have mine set out with several different things across here. I'm going to go ahead and hit Browse All so that I can see all of my HR topics. And the one that I want to go to today is for onboarding. I have a couple of different ones out here, but I'm going to choose the new hire onboarding as a demonstration. I'm going to go ahead and start typing here. And I'm going to put when the start date should be, what type of employment, whether they're full-time or part-time, what their location is. So I'm just going to fill out a little bit of this information so we can move forward. Let's make them a senior developer. And we don't need any of these additional needs. On this particular catalog item, again, you can fill out information. You could have different things that you selected based upon different tasks that might trigger. For me, for this particular demonstration, I'm not going to select any. I'm going to go ahead and click onto the submit button, and it will create a ticket for me. And I have to remember who I am. I created this as Catherine Jones. And so so now you can see there's quite a bit of things here. Let me get out of these, sorry. I'm in a different scope, so I got some messages here I need to clear. But basically, it created a lot of different items for me for Catherine. Should have logged in previously so I could have went in the right scope. But for Catherine, it created her with a role, and it created a ticket as well, and certain things that it created, it assigned to certain people, just more or less because maybe the skill that they have. So all right, so I'm just going to close this so we can actually see some of the items that it created. It'll give us a better view. All right, so here we can see the actual onboarding case that it created, who the new hire person is, who the hiring manager is, and then we get this timeline of all of the different things that are going to occur. So on our task to-dos, we get that we started the onboarding. We can see all the different things. And the nice thing about this is we can see who they're assigned to. So we see in the first portion of this, we have 8 different items that are available or assigned to someone. And if we break that down, we can see 4 of them are assigned to HR and 4 of them are to our new employee, Catherine Jones. We can select which ones are, all of them, or which ones are required or optional to be able to sort and filter the list as well. And then if we look at prepare for day 1, we can see there's 9 items. And again, we can see which ones are assigned to me, which ones are assigned to our new employee, and so forth. So we have lots of different items that you can see all came about from one catalog item. It was the onboarding request. So basically, we've got our starting of the work, what all needs to happen. We need for them to sign certain things. We're preparing for day 1, what all needs to happen, what all we need for them to do. And then basically day 1, you're starting your new job. What do we need at that point? We might want a ramp up. What else do we need to do? We want an initial check-in so HR can check in with them. And then this is just out here to show that we could do a conditional item as well. So maybe they were in sales, or maybe they were in a particular area. Maybe the manager needs to follow up, or HR needs to follow up on some other reason. It could be if they were in a certain country, there might be something, but this is just to show that you could do a conditional one as well. All right, I want to just log in quickly as Catherine Jones so that I can show you a couple of features, and then we're going to go back to our presentation. So I'm going to impersonate Catherine Jones. So you can see here, I've got Catherine Jones going to hit impersonate user. So that's not an option that you have all the time, but it is something. I'm an administrator on this particular instance, and so I have the ability to impersonate the user, and I'm using it for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to click on the all. I like to pin mine so that I have the navigation on the left-hand side. And I'm going to go to the Employee Center, which is my portal.
And of course, though ServiceNow does not do this out of the box, we can make changes to automatically direct these new hires to the Employee Center rather than having to go through that step.
Exactly. So there's lots of different things we would recommend as well, and one of them would be that exactly. So depending upon what your roles might be, whether or not you just get sent straight to the portal and you would not have to do the navigation on the left-hand side. And here, whenever I log in, I can see I have 4 different tasks. So if I click on to the task there, or I'm going to go back to the home page just to show, I also have them listed here, as well as, if I have quite a few, I would not be able to see each one of them here because we would run out of real estate, but it does show me each one of those. I'm going to go back to my task. And I have, sign an IT agreement, sign IP. So I'm going to look at the sign IP one. Again, I'm in as Catherine. I can either type in my signature or draw my signature. I'm going to show that I'm going to sign it. I'm going to accept it. And now on my list of open tasks, I only have 3. And you can see up here, my tasks are limited to 3. I do have completed one. And here's my document. And here's the one that I signed. So if I needed to look at that, I could download that or take a look at it. It will also roll back to my task so that we've got those stored. So just a neat feature I did want to show, again, that has to do with document task and document templates that are available to utilize within HRSD, which allows that employee to be able to sign. A lot of these might have where numerous people sign, and that can happen. There could be a task to the employee to do a signature onto the form, and then maybe a manager or HR to sign as well. All right, I'm going to flip back to our presentation. I don't want to start from the beginning. Let's see if I can start where we're at. Maybe. Perfect. All right, so Employee Center, ServiceNow's really way to be able to unify the employee portal, bring in lots of different areas. So what this is basically showing is that the Employee Center really is an experience layer for everything. So workflows, integrations, different technology. It really tries to bring the employee to one unified area and give you access based upon either roles or even locations. There's lots of different things that you can do utilizing the portal to show you what it is that you have access to, whether you're an employee or a manager, administrator, and so forth. You can limit things to be seen or open them up based upon who you are, and give you access to so many other areas. Employee Center, just kind of wanted to show this as well. So the top picture, if you can see it well, I'm not sure, because I know it's kind of small. I tried to make it a little bit bigger, but shows you just regular Employee Center, kind of what that look is like. So you kind of have the menu, Up here, some different widgets might be recommended for you, and then kind of your items, and then some quick links that you might want to get to. You can also have a footer onto the Employee Center. In Employee Center Pro, again, it kind of expands upon Employee Center. It gives you more of the content experiences. You could click onto different areas. Maybe you make some of those areas, maybe if you're having a performance review or you're having something, you can set those based upon dates for them to appear or to appear for certain people. So maybe different locations of the world as well. So you can limit some of those things. And it does provide you with that enterprise search. Again, a better picture here to kind of see Employee Center here. You can still have those multiple departments. You've got HR, IT, your legal, and so forth, just like you do in Employee Center Pro. It's just as Mike probably put it best, the Employee Center Pro allows you to kind of customize a little more for you. I just wanted to put this particular slide also out here for some different functionality comparison to be able to see the difference between Employee Center and what might Employee Center Pro provide to you. And you'll see it's more of the experience, the publishing, that search. And one other thing is the app launcher. I have a slide for the app launcher here in a minute. The curated experiences. So here basically in Employee Center, this is just Employee Center, you can help drive the employee maybe to different areas, maybe some of the popular topics that most users go to. You can definitely set up which items are those popular topics and help drive them to those particular areas. That is also available on the mobile app. The content experiences, this particular widget for Employee Center Pro sort of does the same thing. It has the recommended for you, but it also has the popular topics. Here's the app launcher. So an integrated way for to help drive employees from one particular place. So on your homepage or on a topics page, you can definitely link different applications in the system, and you can click to go into those particular areas. So this is what we call app launcher. So from within ServiceNow, you could have your other areas. So if you're driving all of your employees to your portal, you could actually have your different applications onto the portal as well for them to get to. Kind of one-stop shopping. Task and approval. So I kind of showed a little bit of a task as the employee where you could go out, click onto the task. The one that I showed, we did a signature. Here, it could be anything else. The one that I am demonstrating in this example is an approval request. So if maybe you have managers, someone requested a new laptop and you need the manager to approve it, they could go out to the portal, see their to-dos, and definitely approve or reject what it is. This one's a tuition reimbursement. And so they could approve this particular request or reject it. Content publishing, again, another item that we're displaying some of the differences between the Employee Center Pro. So this really lets you create different content and be able to have different news articles or notifications, maybe different surveys and so forth linked to them. They are reusable. You could schedule them as well. So they are available and out here, and you could put a time limit onto when they appear. Enterprise search, another feature that is available. You can turn on the SharePoint Online Search Connector as well. And whenever you go out and you do your search in Employee Center Pro, it would search not only ServiceNow articles in your knowledge base and so forth, but you can also search things on your SharePoint. So there is a connector that works with Employee Center Pro. And again, it would go out, find those that information for what you're searching for, and pull that data back for you. So sometimes this really helps a lot of people if they have not moved their articles over, they're utilizing SharePoint, they might be using ServiceNow and so forth. So the Employee Center Pro is the one that can provide that for you. You'll see for the SharePoint, there is a new little area. So for the searches that occur without the SharePoint connector being turned on, it would not have this SharePoint part. It would just be searching within ServiceNow. All right, now I'm going to just kind of go back to Employee Center. And I'm going to click back to just ServiceNow and just kind of show, I know we talked about, HR, we had IT, an org chart possibly based upon who you are. So again, I'm logged in still as Catherine Jones, and I was in as an administrator whenever I created her record and had the system administrator being her manager. And so therefore you can see it starts to build out that org chart. I can see different news centers. I see my task if I had any requests that I had created. So maybe once I'm onboarded, maybe if my laptop has an issue or I need access to something, I might put a request out there. I would be able to find that as well. And then I can see all of the different things that I might need to. Recommended for me, again, those are items or articles that we can put out here, whether it's a knowledge article or it could be a catalog item that might be something that I need to do. Or Mike would be recommended for me because I'm a new hire. And then I can see lots of different features. I have quick links. So if we needed to take someone out to, an overall org chart, your company, maybe your HR has a knowledge base and they wanted to put a link of the calendar for the days off. It's just whatever you really want this to be. You can certainly set these different quick links up. You can do videos. So maybe if there's a new implementation or new changes to the system, you could have a video as well, or something else that you might want all the users to look at or have the access to. You can definitely put that out there. Mine also has, I've been playing around with the features for the learning, as well as some different areas around that. So I have as well on my homepage the upcoming events. So whether or not that would be a training session or something along those lines, we could have those out there. And if someone wanted to link up with that, they could certainly add it to their calendar and so forth. So lots of different items that are out here. I will take a breath here and see if anyone has any questions. Mike, anything that you would have to add? I can't hear you.
Thanks, Becky. I think you've done a great job. This was a high-level demo. If anybody listening in, whether live or in a recording, has questions about any of these particular areas of HRSD, I'd be happy to meet with you directly and discuss it, whether that be onboarding or any of the life cycle events or the like, or Employee Center specifically, or outside of HRSD. I appreciate your time today, Becky, in demonstrating this, and we will be sure to be doing more in the future.
That's great. Thank you so much. go ahead and stop the share.
Thank you.
Charlie or Steve, any questions?